Hey guys, welcome back to the video. So yeah, I'm back. Yep, I'll probably post more lately for the next 2 weeks. I don't know if it dropped. But basically because I kinda knew I was doing stuff to packing, so I kinda left so I didn't get fired. Because they didn't let me do stacking. And I'm about as trash at packing as my spelling skills, which are virtually non-existent. Or swimming skills. As many people know, I'm either very good at swimming, or I'm a complete abysmal. But anyway, back to the video. So, for any of you guys brought up watching Transformers, yeah, I'm sure some of you did. I know Rylan, if he's watches, definitely was brought up watches. But basically, I had something called an older brother. You know, like, wait, what's so amazing about that? Well, basically, I was 4 years old, and he was 7 when I watched Transformers first. And, still have an older brother and all. Yeah, basically, me, I watched everything before everyone else. 5 years before everyone else. This is positive. Because, he wasn't gonna not be allowed to watch it, because he had to watch it with someone else. And the parents weren't gonna watch it. So I got to watch it. Which, yeah. Okay, so anyway, the first Transformers film. Very based. I mean, yeah, okay, it is Michael Bay. I'm not really gonna say any of the controversial social things about him, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying his directing style is, wow, how many explosions can we put in one movie? Yo, yeah, okay. We don't have enough explosions. It's only 40% explosions. We got double that. 80%, 20% story. And, it's funny as to watch, but yeah, basically if you have extremely low concentration span, it's very good. I kind of have maybe slightly above average, but it really depends on the time, because if I get super bored, why not? Nothing else to do. I want to see some big boobs. Yeah, epic. Yeah, it's a decent film. I like this very pro-military, but we'll do that later. But basically, the sad thing, and because I sometimes get extremely emotionally connected to movie characters, to such an extent where, yeah, you're really wondering why I even watched the film. But basically, I used to be the most emotionally connected person to some random movie character that after 5 minutes, yeah, I really didn't give a shit about. But for those 5 minutes, I cared a lot about for those 2 hours. Basically, yeah, I really like jazz. And that was up to the point, so that was a year before I went to kindergarten, and I was in preschool. That was the first, man, very, very, after, obviously WW2 and 4 years old, but other than that, that was a pretty hard-hitting moment. And, yeah, that was hard-hitting. And then I was really pro Autobots. And then, so basically, if you don't know the premise, it's this cube. It's the All-Spot. It's pretty damn important. And there's if you haven't watched it, yeah. Oh well. I've watched it 30 times, so I can kind of remember it quite well. Yeah, it was pretty based, since some of the time it did kind of prolong the fight, and I would have just half the film is fighting, rather than random bat chatting for the sake of bat chatting. It's come on, get to the action, boys. It's if you were to do in the military, and they spend half the war explaining what the war is, and then you go into a fight. It's a bit come on guys, hurry up. But I will agree, yeah, maybe not the most accurate depiction of Transformers characters, but that's one of the latter films. But yeah, overall give it an 8 out of 10. The theme song is pretty based, and the action scenes, thank you Michael Bay for creating very good action scenes. You're a legend. The second film. Now, I don't really understand what they were trying to do with Revenge of the Fallen. They put Linkin Park in the theme song, which was the only good Linkin Park film. Linkin Park song, which is New Divide. Okay, maybe not the only good song, but I'm not going to speak too positive about Linkin Park, because as many people know, they're not really good at keeping their fan base for more than one album. Like, 90% of their fan base is in Hybrid Theory. Maybe just continue Hybrid Theory. Just saying. And I'm not a huge fan of rap. For reasons. Yeah, but New Divide was very based on, very catchy, also kind of defined 6-year-old Finn quite well, and it was pretty cool, the theme song. But the rest of the film, man, looks like it was made by like me when I was 6 trying to make a movie. You just so we put this in and we put this in, and we have no connection between this scene and this scene. Now, I'm not trying to be rude to Michael Bay, you are a legend, but what on earth was this, and what on earth was the plot supposed to connect with? Like, I swear, my English skills in like 4 years ago was better than that. And if anyone knows my English skills 4 years ago, it was atrocious. Because I kind of knew how to make a story, but the thing is if you try and get me to connect one part of a story to another part of a story, yeah, it kind of just flopped. But I got better at English, luckily, so that's good. But basically, the movie's, pretty, yeah, you kind of wonder if it was made by a 6-year-old who has the literal lowest attention span in world history. Also, they kind of added the Fallen, which was Megatron's boss, which kind of makes no sense if you're brought up watching Transformers, because, like, isn't Megatron supposed to be, like, the boss of the group? So, wouldn't that make utterly zero sense, putting someone as a boss? Even 7-year-old Finn thought that. And, believe me, I was not intelligent. Sorry about that random. Yeah, I don't know what's happening either. I'm just neighbors. I don't know. Sorry about the sound in the background. Basically, yeah, it was a pretty, it's probably the worst of the trilogy. Now, why that is the twins. Now, I've not watched that movie in 5 years, for obvious reasons. Such as, the twins just about make you really want to, really makes you want to pray for someone to oof you. Really badly. But, obviously I'm not going to do that because I'm on my laptop. But it's pretty dumb. Like, pretty dumb. That it was kind of... Basically, they are the most annoying side characters in history. And when they died, that was about the happiest day of my life for a 7-year-old me who just joined school and didn't really, if you know me, I'm not a huge fan of school. So I was really happy when those characters died. Yeah, it was pretty cringe if I'm honest, and I don't really know why they were the characters, and yeah, it was quite funny when they blew up in smithereens, but basically they had like 50 million signs like, oh hey, we got devastated, which basically is a huge bad guy. And oh yeah, hey go boom. Okay, sure. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Beavis and Butthead, but, not Beavis and Butthead, the twins. But, don't skip the twins scenes. Very bad. But yeah, I do like the sexual jokes, because, 7-year-old Finn didn't really understand the meaning behind it. But when you're a teenager, it's quite, funny. They might overdo it a bit, because, they like doing that in the 2000s. I don't really know why. It was a bit weird. But after that, basically, yeah, it's hard to explain the story, because there really isn't one. Michael Bay obviously did cool action scenes for the last third of the film, which I might have skipped about 5 times after I watched it about 10 times. 12-year-old Finn, skipped to the right at the end of the film when he just did that Benton, and then watched the action scenes, and then thought it was really cool, and then watched it again and again and again and again, and now I know and realize all of the action scenes. And basically, they bring him back to life, and there's some weird, I don't know, technology thing. Dark of the Moon? Well, we lost Megan Fox, who, not saying I'll marry her, but she's quite good looking. Obviously I'm not a French person, so I don't do a massive age gap with them. If you want to know why that French president is married to his teacher. I.e. But, French do what French do. Basically, yeah, the last part of the film was pretty good. The film basically starts at 4 minutes about Transformers, and then, there's it's quite complex, but basically, there's a Sentinel Prime, and apparently the space rocket just kind of went in there to the dark side of the moon, because, it's called the dark side of the moon for a reason. Use a brain. Basically went to the dark side of the moon, and, these astronauts came, the Apollo mission, and they actually came to see the cool spaceship, because why not? And, yeah, there's some weird-ass fairies in it, and basically, back on Earth, the Autobots find out shit, and sorry about that, that's probably Cannon being a retard. Cannon, stop being a retard. Cannon, stop being a retard. Okay, sheesh. Yeah, basically, it's, Michael Bay doing Michael Bay story plots, which, basically, they put a 6-year-old and said, hey, what do you want a movie about Transformers to be like? And then put an adult, and then, obviously put the cool action scenes, and like, yo, so we're gonna add this really stupid story plot that makes no sense. And, yeah, even 10-year-old Finn was like, in the movie, wait, what the f*** are you doing? Well, obviously I didn't say that, but I was like, what are you doing with this? That doesn't connect to that. Huh? But, basically in the last third of the film, it was pretty based. Because, it's the most gruesome film ever. Which is a PG-13. It's pretty based. And, Optimus Prime doing war points, yeah, obviously I don't fully... Maybe he might have been a bit over the top. But, it's robots, who cares? Pretty based. Good on you, dude. And said, you probably shouldn't have killed Metatron now that I look back at it. Which is like, didn't you guys just stand up to kill, Sentinel Prime? And it's basically some really important spaceship, and, yeah, I don't concentrate to any of the plot because it's Michael Bay, so it doesn't make sense anyway. And the rest of the film is yeah, it's not really that good, and if you really want to learn criticism of it, just watch all the criticism. But yeah, the plot points kind of just, hey, we don't have made an unnecessary plot point, because why not? Yeah, let's put it in this middle of the film. Like, how did this hit $1 billion? Oh, yeah, it has a structural action scenes. Wow. But yeah, featuring Michael Bay for making very epic action scenes. And also the theme song is, pretty damn based with Optimus Prime. Okay, I'll stop saying it. It's a very, 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 very good theme song when he's busy killing all of Autobots. Because, the Decepticon, whatever. But yeah, not saying Optimus Prime is necessarily the best. I kind of like the bad guys in that film first. That was probably when I started like bad guys in films. Because the bad guys were pretty based. And they shot Ironhide, who I didn't really care about. And it was a pretty good film. And yeah, it wasn't that good, but it was better than the second film because of the twins, in my opinion, which might be an unpopular, I don't think it is an unpopular opinion. It's probably the one popular opinion I have. It's pretty trash, the second film. First film is legendary, third film is, it's kind of what you're doing, but the last part of the film kind of saved it, which means it's just forgettably average. But with the cool action scenes, it's like, you just skip to the cool action scenes, just skip like 2/3 of the movie, and it's really good. And if you don't do that, you might be one. It was funny when they chucked the Asian dude out of, I forgot what the actor's name is. He's like some famous actor from America. I forgot his name. Because I'm not, some Hollywood buff dude from 2012. I forgot who it was, but it was basically it's like 5 foot. Oh wait, that's just a spin. Well, basically, it's an Asian guy with glasses that threw out of a window. That was quite funny because seeing a guy falling out of a window is quite funny by a bunch of robots, a tinsy ass robot. And maybe not the most accurate on the source material, but the action scenes, 10 out of 10. Those action scenes are pretty good. Also love the pro military stuff. Michael Bay, you're very good. Just maybe did a bit of story plot, then it wasn't bad because the later films, Age of Extinction just about made me never want to watch Transformers again, and I haven't watched the 5th film because I've heard reviews it's not the best, and Rise of Beasts just kind of seems like cash grab for the sake of a cash grab, but basically the first film I love, The only problem is Shia LaBeouf can get more whiny than me when I was 10, and kind of comes off as quite annoying, which, you kind of, if it was like, I was allowed in a movie, and tell him to shut the top. No one cares about you having a big spring fest when the smallest thing happens. Like, imagine if he was in the military. He'd be screaming so loud that the whole military that's blowing up. Like, bruh. But, he's not too bad. It's just, maybe Sam Witwer is a bit of an annoying character. The villain, I think, was, Sentinel Prime. Because he was a bit of a, backstabber. Obviously, I don't really like those people. But, it was a pretty base move, just killing one of the most important Autobots in front of Bumblebee, and just go kaboom. Well, respect for that. And, thank you, Michael Bay, for very good action scenes. Love the action scenes. If only I could, why can't the world have epic cool action scenes? I would love those cool action scenes. Very amazing. Maybe just really did a better plot. Might be kind of crappy because I couldn't be bothered with actually, putting more than like 30% effort at this stage. Maybe later I'll make a part 2. Yeah. See you guys.